All right, so I was doing some doom scrolling, right? And I came across this video that blew my mind. You guys got to watch this video with me. We're going to go through it together, and you're going to see the biggest hypocrisy ever. And I hope it opened your mind up to some of these pundits out here that we listen to, and I think we get advice from, that we should really, really question. But let me start right here, man. I want y'all to watch this video with me and tell me what you think. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause it in between, and I'm going to get some more inserts in between and discuss a few little topics. But I want you to hear the, you got to hear the hypocrisy in this. Here we go. Let's play.
I got a question I want to ask you about Trump and his family and MAGA supporters. Like, when I think of MAGA, I think of blue collar, white, hardworking Americans.
So even right there, let me stop it right there. You heard what he said. When he think of Trump supporters, he didn't even name a description of himself, and he voted for Trump. This is what he named. This is exactly what this man just named. He didn't even name himself. He didn't even name the description of himself as a voter, and he voted for Trump. This is how delusional these people are. But let's carry on.
Rural areas, they served in the military, their kids are serving in the military. How do you explain them embracing someone like Trump, who dodged the war, and Trump's family, who's never enlisted in the military? Like, Barron's not enlisted in the military. Why do you think there's such a strong allegiance from this base of voters for people like the Trump and his family?
I think there are a couple of reasons. I mean, I'm one of them. I'm not from a working class background, hardly.
What does that even mean? You're not from a working class background. Well, we know what that means.
But I like a lot of, I mean, Trump's voters are like still my favorite people by far.
These type people you talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Like, you are these type of people you talking about your most favorite people by far, huh? But
country, they're great people. I live right in the middle of them. Mm-hmm. Most honest, decent, patriotic, loving toward their families.
Right.
Just great people.
I'm gonna show it one more time. This is what he's talking about.
Trump. Why did I fall for Trump? Well, a couple of reasons. One, there was a masculine energy there. Mm-hmm. Nations need a masculine energy. They need the feminine too. It's a balance, of course, but they need masculine energy. Masculine energy is the energy of creation, of rules, of standards, of principles, universal standards. It's not arbitrary. It's abstract in some sense. That's a masculine energy. Dad's home. You violated the rules, you're getting punished. That is the statement that restores order to the household. Mm-hmm. And increasingly, our leadership class is emasculated. It's unhappy women and castrated men. And everyone feels this, by the way. I don't think women like it any more than men like it. In fact, I think women really hate it. Mm-hmm. But whatever, that's where we are. So Trump shows up, and in his kind of defiance and craziness and grab him by the pussy vulgarity, which is disgusting, of course.
But even right there, you see how he can move the goalpost? Even any other man on this planet would have even been eliminated right there alone. That right there showed me that the Trump voters, they push everything aside, all morality. So when they tell me they vote with their morals, you can't tell me that and continue to say these things. But go ahead, carry on.
It was also read by a lot of people as like, oh, finally there's a man here.
So, and let me stop here again. I'm sorry, but this rhetoric here, it was a man here, as if this person did not vote for Trump. This is a woman now. This person. So the hypocrisy from this man is astounding, but again,
right. A lot of men are.
Right.
But like, at least there's a man, finally. You can't look at Joe Biden. No, I'm serious. And
right.
Countries need men. Families need men and they need women too, but it's a balance. And we're totally out of balance. And just like you wake up and everybody's gay or like gay adjacent or something. And even if you're like, I'm not mad at the gays or whatever, which is how I've always felt, always been pretty liberal about the gay stuff. It's like, you really want to live in a country where everybody's gay?
Okay, so I guess he don't think any gay people voted for Trump. Or they're like, this is the hypocrisy, man, that I'm talking about. And guys like him who have the platform that they have, they say this outlandish stuff like we don't see and know what we know and see what we see. He's talking as if everybody on the Democratic Party just gay and nobody. We know most of the gay people, gay undercover people, are Republicans, and I can prove that as well. But again, let him carry on.
Gay? No, that's crazy. And all of a sudden, like, it becomes treacherous and catty, and it becomes exactly what you think it would be in a country where everyone's gay.
Everyone's gay. These jokers make hats that says "Make America Gay Again," but no, he wants to point the finger at everyone else as if, again, this guy wasn't at the head of his party voting. Well, excuse me, this woman now that he's talking about. Again, the hypocrisy. Carry on, my guy.
I think Trump was a relief from that, okay? Second, I think people suspected for long before I even knew, like I was very late to a lot of this stuff, but they suspected that it was a rigged game and that both sides were colluding against everybody else. And they were absolutely right. Trump has proved that, paradoxically. But Trump seemed like an alternative. Like, and the way you knew that Trump was sincere in his desire to drain the swamp is that the swamp tried to put him in prison. And they created this whole fake J6 thing to make sure he could.
Okay, so this right here, he's telling you is fake. He's telling you what you've seen with your own two eyes did not happen. And this is the problem that we have in America. Guys like Tucker Carlson, who have these major platforms, who have been a news pundit, they just lie out their teeth like it's nothing. He's telling you J6 didn't happen. Trump didn't have nothing to do with that. All of this is a conspiracy, and all this did not happen in our eyes. And Trump supporters, Republican supporters, continue to just go behind these guys and I guess that didn't happen. We all seen it. How can you now tell us it didn't happen? This is
run again, and J6 was fake. Sorry, totally fake. And the document charges that they charged him under, and the Mar-a-Lago raid, and all this stuff was all fake.
And you see, like he believes that. He really believes all of that happened didn't happen, and that's how they erase history. That's how they do the stuff that they do, guys. Y'all see it right here. They will tell you in your face what you watch, what happened in history did not happen, and that you're woke. You're woke culture. Don't listen to you're woke. That's their thing.
And everyone can see it was fake. It was totally fake, and they, whatever. And so if he's being attacked in a real way by the swamp, he's clearly not of the swamp. He's clearly an alternative to the swamp. People voted for Trump not because they loved the Republicans, but because they were dissatisfied with the Republicans. Trump wasn't a Republican. Trump took over the Republican Party and made it into his own image. And that was why people liked him. They're like the party of Mitt Romney versus the party of Chuck Schumer. That's the same party, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and Trump seemed like an option. So I think that's why.
Okay.
Plus he's hilarious. He's hilarious. Like, he's the funniest person ever.
The funniest. See, guys, these are the clowns. These are the clowns that we have. And you see the two chuckling hyenas that's there, that's not even questioning him or not even stopping him at his nonsense. But this guy will sit here and tell you all that shit he just said. He believes it. He really believes all of that. He will tell you and want you to believe that all this stuff about the LGBTQ community or whatever is just the Democratic Party. But he won't tell you this. He won't tell you about how Grindr surprisingly ties Republican Party. His ties with the Republican Party. He won't talk about that. I tell you what he definitely won't bring up. He won't bring up this right here. How every time there's a big event at Republican events, the RNC, and even at this Charlie Kirk event, that Mr. Tucker Carlson was speaking at. They closed that joker down. They was on that site. But he is the main one on here talking about how the Democratic Party is feminine and all this kind of nonsense. That's the foolishness that these guys want you to believe. But I did a little research on Tucker Carlson because I was like, wait a minute, man. This guy here, he's supposed to be the smartest one in the world, right? Who do he vote for, and why does he vote that way? He must have got it right all his life. Let's see. So Tucker Carlson was born in 1969, right? Since 1969, we have had 11 presidents. Let me name them for you. Richard Nixon, Republican. Gerald Ford, Republican. Jimmy Carter, Democrat. Ronald Reagan, Republican. Bush, one, Republican. Clinton, Democrat. Bush, two, Republican. Obama, Democrat. Trump, Republican. Biden, Democrat. Last one, Trump, a Republican. You heard this man tell you, he will tell you out his mouth how bad the Republican Party is now, how upset he is with the Republican Party. Well, in his lifetime, out of 11 presidents in his lifetime, only 4 have been Democrats that he's so against, that he hates, right? Well, he wouldn't have been able to vote until 1988. So the Reagan, who if they golden horse, he wouldn't have even voted for Reagan. He would have had to vote for Bush 1, who was a one-term president who got us into a war and who had a recession. That would have been a bad choice. 2, he had voted for Clinton, a Democrat, because remember, he don't like Democrats, right? So the Clinton, a Democrat, got us out of balance the budget. Only president to balance the budget in his lifetime. Sound like a pretty good option to me, a better option than he had. The next president he would have voted for would have been Bush, 2, who got us in another recession, into another war. Sound like another bad option. The next president he wouldn't have voted for would have been Obama, who got us out of the recession and out of the war that the Republican got us in. Now, you can say whatever you want, but these are facts. You can go look this up. So if you're against it or not, these are the facts. The next president that he would have voted for would have been Trump, who he says is a bad president now. So that term Trump got it. We was in a recession. Granted, I will give him credit. It was COVID. So we was going through a global pandemic. But if we're going to use that excuse, we got to use that excuse for the next president that he wouldn't have voted for, which would have been Biden, who we didn't have a recession and no war. But then the next president that he would have voted for would have been Trump, who got us in a recession and into a war. So every president he has voted for has got us into a war and has been bad for the economy. The 4 presidents that he did not vote for was better options than the ones that he voted for. Think about it in the history of his lifetime, But he will get on news and podcasts and tell you how bad the Democratic Party is, but won't tell you how bad his voting record is. Guys, I encourage you all to do your own research on these guys. Do your own research. Look this stuff up. Do not listen to freaking frats like them twin brothers who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And please do not listen to people like Tucker Carlson, who are the biggest hypocrites in the world. Either way it go, man. We'll do this thing again. My name is Adrian. This has been Record Talk, and we'll catch up next time.